Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's the Wednesday night edition of Inside the Headset. It's Week 6, Game 6 here in the state of Tennessee. This gentleman is in Game 5. We're going to start off in the state of Alabama, going to roll down to Helena. I got with me live on the phone and on the air the head coach of the Helena Huskies, head coach Richie Busby. How you doing tonight, Coach?
I'm good, Stork. How about yourself?
Doing really good. Well, you played 4 games. So Helena is 1-3. Your only win comes from Chilton County. But, man, you played a real close one last Friday night. Came up a little short, 31-28. You played Moody. Let's talk about that game.
Yeah, number 1 ranked team in the state of Alabama in 5A, right below us.
Wow.
I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but they had more transfers on their roster than we do seniors. So it was they've got players from Kentucky, they've got players from Mississippi, they got players from all over.
Wow.
Which neither here nor there, but it's an uphill battle. We started out fast. We had 3 interceptions Friday night, and our kids' battle is the best game we played all year by far. And we ended up they kicked a field goal late. We had a bad spot on the 4th down, and in the 4th quarter, I felt like would have gave us the ball at midfield, and at that time we had the momentum. But kids played really well. I mean, they showed what kind of football team we can be. So, if we can build off that this week, a lot of positives came out of that game.
Well, you said, when we started this at the beginning of the season, and that's what I love about probably the most about this show is we get to follow you. And you said, on week 1, when we talked to you, when you didn't have a game, you just said, our record is not going to show the progress we make, where we've come from, who we are, where we're going. It will have no implication on our season, who we are. I just need these kids to, find a way to get better each and every week. And as long as they play hard, you'll be okay. Now, the interceptions, of course, I'm going to go ahead and let you know the bad news. You own those. So, you owned turnovers and penalties. Those are your category. But of those interceptions, I mean, were they trying hard? Were they doing everything? Or did we just, they have more players?
No,
they have better players?
No,
or
I
what?
mean, when I say interceptions, we had 3 on defense.
Oh, you had 3 on defense. Oh, you had, which makes it great when you're going against All-Stars. I misunderstood you. I'm sorry. And the way it was, the way it was. Go ahead.
And we knew going in the game they were going to have to help us out and turn it over a little bit. I mean, they're explosive in every area of their team. They got 2 220-pound running backs, and the kid that actually kicked the field goal, which basically won the game, was a transfer too about a week before the season started, and kicked a 40-something yarder to take the lead. And our kids, they absolutely laid it on the line. I mean, to be honest with you, just talking, I mean, they're 3 or 4 touchdowns better than us.
We lost Richie. My goodness, he hung up on us. Let's see if we can get him back. Hold still, everybody. Hang tight. We'll get him on the line. Hey, you're fine. Just continue on. You said that,
Anyway, it took everything we had to stay in that game. Like I said, we had one season-ending injury to one of our guards, and then the other ones were going to be out for a couple of weeks, so we lost both our starting guards. Couldn't be more prouder of our team, though, the way they played and competed. Nobody expected us to even be in that game. This team lost in the state finals last year, and I feel like if they stay injury-free, they will either win it or be in the finals again.
And this is what you want. I mean, you got to play those type of teams. We talk about it here in Rutherford County. Richie, the only way to get better is to go play somebody that's high caliber. And somewhere along the way, you got to play a non-region game that basically, I just want to say it straight up, I'm allowed to, that kind of scares the shit out of you. One way or another, you got to have something where you're out there playing this game and you want to be threatened. You want to see your team get threatened. And like you said, you was kind of optimistic going into this game. But it seems like to me, Helena Huskies, even though they came up a little short, You had the 3 interceptions. You're telling me you were thrilled with what you came out with on the end of the results, other than the one kid that you lost in the injury.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, this 5-week road trip that we're on, 4 of the 5 teams are ranked in the top 6 in the classification. Like I said, Moody's ranked number 1 or 2 in 5A, depending on what poll you look at. Spain Park, the top 10 team. We're going to Oxford, who opened the season ranked number 3 in the state in 6A. Then we got Ben Russell next week, who beat Spain Park last week, who's also a top 10 team. Got 2 SEC commitments at receivers. It's a gauntlet, and we knew that. And we're, it's like I told you last week, we're in the same position this year that we were last year. We're 1-1 in the region, and if we can get through this week and next week and be relatively healthy going into Pelham and Chelsea and Calera, which are all region games.
Mm-hmm. That's just what I was getting ready to say. That back half, your last 3 games, Murder Row, and I guess you're not playing Briarwood anymore then.
No, they're not in our region anymore.
Right.
They dropped down to 5A. So, we knew going into the season if we could survive this. And, 2 years ago when we made the schedule, I mean, we saw this coming. We knew we would be a young football team with not a lot of experience. But it's like I tell the kids every day, when we get through this stretch, there's nothing that anybody's going to throw at us that we hadn't seen.
Yeah.
Whether it be athletes or size and speed and all that kind of stuff. So, but, coaching high school kids these days, it's, what have you done for me lately? And they're in a society that is instant gratification. So it's hard to keep them focused. And even as adults, as coaches, it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But I think last week really showed our kids that they can compete at the highest level, but it's going to take everything we got and everybody we got to do it.
Well, and parents have to be patient. I've talked to some coaches. I've talked to some coaches here lately, and I said, "What keeps you up at night?" I don't want to say what coach it is in Rutherford County, but they looked at me and said, "The parents are worse than the kids, Stork. The parents are worse than the kids." He said the kids are more educated than the parents about the game of football and what we're trying to do, and they're trying to call mom and dad.
Every day.
And they live with it, and mom and dad thinks they know it. And, everybody's it's great to be a Saturday coach, isn't it? I mean, it's great to watch whether you're watching University of Tennessee lose to Georgia or whatever, or you're watching Alabama, or we're beating the fire out of ETSU or whoever it is, or, it is a UAB or whatever. It is good, but that game is hard at that next level, and what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish, it's I don't know. It's just a step-by-step process, and you're the only one that knows it, you and your coaches and your staff. You spend the most time with these kids. You're not only spending time – yeah, go ahead.
The difference in the college game and our game, they get to pick their kids.
Yeah.
They recruit them.
Yeah.
And then things still don't work out, but, that's not unique to Tennessee or Alabama or anywhere else. The parents, they are whether we got, 90% of them are great and the other ones think they, know better, or their trainer that trains their kids knows better because they tell them how good they are, and there's no win-loss in that trainer's column that I've ever seen. So,
what a beautiful statement. Yeah, there is a lot of trainers are good, aren't they? They are needed.
Oh, there's a lot of them. There's one I recommend all our kids to, and he's fabulous, but the other ones, they're going to tell them what they want to hear and how good they are, because they want them to keep bringing that $60 back an hour a couple times a week. And, there's no adversity. It's the building's got heating and air, and tell them how good they open their hips and run, but they're actually not covering anybody. There's maybe a score.
Oh, I love it.
Put on the scoreboard,
Well, you sound like Ron Adelot. Ron Adelot used to tell me that 7-on-7's a bunch of hokey, Stork, because you're not hitting. And when we get into the fall, and you have to put, the other pads on, the game is going to change. We're going to find out whether or not you can take a hit. And that's that'll be the big factor. And, you're right, trainers, I mean, it's funny the way you say that, and the reason why I horse or cackle or cuckle people have to know. In my early days, oh man, I was combine king. I mean, I love to get a kid, load him up, take him to let's go. Took two kids, went up to Ohio State one time in 2004. We trucked up to Ohio State in the spring and had a kid show out, was placed ninth out of 370 kids, and I had another kid placed 21st. So we're in the top 25. I brought two kids from Tennessee in Ohio State, 370-some kids, and we got ninth and 21st. I felt like, we were great. And so, but in the end of the day, and it did get that kid a scholarship to Tennessee, the kid that placed ninth. He got offered. His name was Marcellus Johnson. He played for Tennessee. But, at the same time, back then that was, now all the video and everything else, it's changed. And, I mean, colleges have so much information. I mean, they know about every kid. They already know what they want to do right now. But, I mean, they know where they're going. They're looking at the kids that are going to enter the portal next year. I mean, it's a different game with the portal than what's going on in high school football. I mean, if you're a high school football player and you want to play college football, you got to find a place where you can either walk on, land, and you got to get on the board or get on the field quick. You got to make a statement quick some way, somehow.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And, combines and different things like that, they're a necessary evil. I mean, you have to go on the campuses now and work out for them if you want them to sign you. And, these days we tell our kids, if you got an offer on the table, especially if you just got one, you better take it because, if you don't, they'll just move on. And I think with the NCAA doing away with the spring portal last week, that the high school kids will get a chance to be recruited like they used to be in the spring now because the college coaches won't be worrying about portal. They'll handle all that at the semester break. So I think that's a step forward, and
yes,
especially for the high school kids.
Yes, because they need a fighting chance, and that was shadowing the first Wednesday in February, which is National Signing Day, which was Christmas for everybody, for all the kids that were seniors in high school. If you were eligible to play, that used to be the great day. Now that's been ruined because of the portal. That's not as big,
And the early signing period in December. So now, it's like, like you said, in February, everybody used to sit around and watch the fax machine and see who came in. And now you've got multiple, so it kind of waters it down, doesn't make it as special, in my opinion.
You go to Oxford. They're 2-3. This game's away. Just like you said, you're on the road. Yellow Jackets. What do you got to do, man? I mean, they're 2-3. They're going to be hungry for a win. And so, talk to me.
Oh, yeah.
Talk to me, Coach.
Well, just their tradition alone. I was looking this morning. They've won 628 football games in the history of their school. And, we've been playing football 13 years. So, and I have people say, well, Oxford's down a little bit this year, and they are compared to last year, but so are we. And they have two SEC commitments at linebacker, and we've never had one in school history. So, yeah, they're down in their terms, but still a quality football team.
Where is Oxford from where you are? I know you're south of Birmingham.
Up Highway 20 going towards Atlanta, Gadsden area.
Okay.
Over that way, about an hour and 45 minutes from us. And when you have that kind of tradition, you won that. Like they're in the top 20 in wins for a school in the state of Alabama history. When you have that kind of tradition, I don't pay a whole lot of attention to a 2-3 record because I know who they've played.
Well, you know who played them, and I used to interview on this show, and he's not there no more. Albertville used to play Oxford. That's who played them. That's where I've heard of them. He played them.
They're not. Yeah, the Albertville's just right up the interstate from them, pretty close. So they've had some. Oxford's one of those places when they have really, really good teams. They have really, really good teams. Won 4 state titles in the history of the school, and like I said, they've got a South Carolina commitment. And one linebacker is the Britt kid. His brother played at Auburn and played in the NFL for years. And then on the other side of him, they got one going to Ole Miss. So
wow,
they still have a quality football team for sure.
Coach, I can't thank you enough for being on Inside the Headset. Next week, I'm not going to do any. I got to get on the road. I got some things I got to do in the tower business. The week after that is our fall break, so we're going to be off for a couple of weeks. and then we're gonna gather back and probably be on for 2 more shows before we close out the season. But it's been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot, and you're a great friend and everything. I did not go to the Louisville Wireless or that golf tournament or the Kentucky Wireless. I think Hollywood went, and then he called me last Friday, and I told him that the game he wants to see, the big game for us is this Friday. It's Oakland and Blackman. Both of them are undefeated. So he was wanting to know. He was wanting to know if that game was this Friday, and it was last Friday, and it wasn't. So it's this Friday. It's the big one. But no, I hope to get to visit with you real soon. And go Huskies!
All right, well, go Huskies, score. Go make some money on that wireless.
All righty, thank you, Coach. See you. Bye. Alabama Wireless. I'll be down. I'll be down for Alabama Wireless.
Look forward to seeing you, man.
All
Thank
right.
you.
See you. Bye.
Okay.